Someone asks how your weekend was. You give the answer. The short one. The one that closes the conversation. Not because you have nothing to say, because this isn't the kind of conversation where saying it would mean anything. You don't hate people. You just find it hard to care about surface-level conversation when there's so much else you could be talking about. And that's not rudeness. That's not shyness. That's a specific psychological difference that most people around you will never fully understand. The way you're wired for conversation is different. For most people, small talk is background noise. Pleasant enough, easy, forgettable. For you, conversation is something you fully show up to. You're tracking what's being said, what isn't being said, what the other person actually means behind it. That level of presence costs something. When the conversation is about nothing, it doesn't feel worth the cost. That's not antisocial. That's a high-investment communicator in a low-investment conversation. There's also something more uncomfortable going on. There's a version of small talk that feels like performance, saying you're fine when you're not, talking about the weekend when neither of you are really listening, going through social motions that don't connect to anything real. For some people, that feels false. Not uncomfortable, actually false. And sustaining something false takes more energy than just being quiet. Something else builds over time, too. You've invested in enough conversations that seemed like they might go somewhere and didn't. The energy spent, the openness offered. After enough of those, small talk starts to feel like the beginning of a disappointment. Because you know what a real conversation feels like. One that left you more energized than when you started. Where both people actually said something real. Once you know what that feels like, everything else is a missed opportunity. Some people can switch between surface and depth easily. Small talk with a stranger, real conversation with a friend, no friction, no cost. You find that harder. When you engage fully, which means small talk pulls you into a depth it doesn't require, and then makes you pull back. That transition is exhausting in a way that's hard to explain to someone who doesn't experience it. The problem isn't that you hate conversation. It's that you've set the bar at the only level that works for you. And that's not antisocial. That's honest. Which part of this felt most like yours? If this names something you've struggled to explain, subscribe. There are more patterns like this one.